Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is April 24th, 2025. Had a pretty good day today. Sammy was off, so got to chill with her, hang out with her a little bit, play some video games. I do have a couple video games that I'm going to be doing reviews on. So look forward to that. If that's what brought you to this channel, was my video game reviews. I'm playing right now X-Men Mutant Wars, Turok 2 for Game Boy Color. Playing a couple of them. Still playing Lord of the Rings. That game is long as hell, The Return of the King. But yeah, let's get on with the show. So there is a shit ton going on. This is going to be a little all over the place, but it should connect. First thing I want to talk about, so this was interesting. Did anyone watch the Pope funeral? And I got sent a picture from some friends of mine. We were doing like a group chat, and it was the Pope, and the whole left side of his face was bruised, which is weird. A lot of people think that the Pope dying was like a ritual death. I don't know. I mean, you guys know me. Yes, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I try to be a skeptic too. I can't prove that it was like a ritual death, you know? Another thing too. So there's a division within the conspiracy community of was that the last pope, or is there one more coming? There is a slot for like one more pope. And by the way, I said Malachi Martin prophecy. It wasn't Malachi Martin, it was Saint Malachi. So when I spoke about the Pope dying, so go check that episode out. This is kind of a part 2 to it. But I don't know what to believe. You guys know my opinion on prophecies. I used to be really big into like Nostradamus, like growing up. I used to be really big into like more woo-woo stuff. And the older I've gotten, with as much hoaxing as there is within ufology and the occult and spirituality, as much hoaxing and just new age bullshit, like I've become kind of jaded. Like, I'm still a very spiritual person, but I'm more skeptical and more jaded. And everyone's saying this is like a ritual sacrifice. I don't know. I mean, where's the evidence for this shit? But it is interesting, though, that the whole left side of his face is like black and blue. And I was sent this photo by some friends, and I wanted to check it out for myself. I'm like, because I can't sign on to X. I don't have an X account. And I wanted to check it out myself. I'm like, what the fuck? So I hopped on YouTube, and they were live streaming the Pope's funeral, and I watched, and sure enough, his whole left side of his face is fucking black and blue. Now, this ties in with what they call the Black Eye Club, which I am like a believer that there's something to it. Now, what it is, I'm not sure. I find it very interesting. So, essentially, we've talked about the Black Eye Club a little bit here and there on this channel. We've never done like a whole deep dive. Maybe we'll do like a whole episode on it one day. But I've heard multiple theories. Like, one theory is that the elites are all in clubs, you know, and basically, if you don't do right, if you don't do what you're told by your higher-ups and your masters, and to think that politicians and presidents don't have masters. If you guys remember WikiLeaks and the Hillary Clinton emails that got leaked, do you remember when she emailed Lady Rothschild? She literally was calling her Your Highness. So that tells you right there, presidents are puppets. Politicians are puppets. You got the former First Lady of the United States of America calling Lady Rothschild Your Highness. That's scary shit, dude. And that should say a lot, you know? So, one of the theories with the Black-Eyed Club is basically that if you don't do what you're told, you get your ass kicked. And that it's almost like a humiliation ritual, too. So they make sure to purposely black one of your eyes. For one, it's a good reminder of, like, hey, do what you're told. Every time you look in the mirror, everyone asks about it. I've had black eyes before. My ex-wife used to beat me up, so, like, and everyone's attention is drawn to you. Why you got two black eyes, you know? Who'd you fight, you know? And everybody makes jokes, and it's like, it is humiliating. So, it works as that, and plus it fucking hurts to get punched in the face, you know? So that's one of the theories behind the Black-Eyed Club. Another theory is, and this one's way out there. Okay. So, like I said, when I was younger and dumber, I used to be a big believer in, like, the reptilian theory, that all these elites were reptiles and shit. I don't believe that anymore. I think most of the glitches and stuff that we see are literally, like, their face shape-shifting and shit. I think a lot of it is just technical glitches. Now, there are a couple videos here and there that I've seen people's eyes turn into slits and shit. That's fucking weird. But I think that's more of like a demonic thing. Maybe they're possessed or something. But I do believe that there probably is like some sort of reptilian species, maybe interdimensional, or I don't know. I believe in cryptids and shit, but do I think like that all these politicians are like actual lizard people? No. I don't know. I just think that's a little, I think extraordinary claims need like extraordinary evidence, you know? So there's this guy, Donald Marshall. I used to listen to hours of him when I was younger. And honestly, I listened to him at first kind of like interesting. Like, I'm not saying I believed him, because I don't trust anyone. You guys know me, and I tell you guys, you shouldn't trust anyone either. Not even me. But everything he was saying was so fucking outlandish and entertaining, that it was just entertainment. Not saying I believed it, but I'd listen to his interviews and just be like his imagination is insane. I personally believe, and I'm gonna lose a lot of fucking people, and I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate in the comments, because he's one of these in the truth community who's a big name, and I'm not calling him a shill by any means. I truly don't think he's at all a shill, because every time I've seen him, he's like couch surfing and living with people, and he pops up every now and then and disappears for years and comes back, disappears. So I truly don't think he's doing it for the money. And I know he has a really bad substance abuse problem. He's even said it. I've seen some of his videos where he's like been fucked up on drugs and alcohol and shit. I'm not judging, because I'm in recovery and struggle with alcoholism too, you know. That being said, I do think that Donald Marshall is mentally ill. And I know I'm Conspiracy Corner Podcast. I've heard people literally say, you don't talk conspiracies, you just debunk conspiracies, like, change your name. I've actually had someone say that, and I'm like, go check out my other videos. I go deep, homeboy, trust me. It's just some of them I don't believe in, you know? And I'm not making fun of Donald, because I struggle with mental illness, and I've talked about that tons of times on this channel. Hell, at one point, they had me on schizophrenia medication. I had a court document the other day, and they were mentioning my mental illness and shit. So, yeah, that... I don't make fun of anyone with mental illness, because you can't hide it. But the difference between me and other people is, like, look, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and some of the most truth is stranger than fiction. Some of the most crazy conspiracies are actually true. But I don't just automatically believe everyone that I hear. I am always like, And even like friends and shit. I have friends, you know, who are like, oh, I was brainwashed by the CIA, and, you know, I'm gang stalked every day. And even them, I'm like, unless I see it or experience it around you or something, like, I don't know. I mean, I'll listen to you. It's entertaining. But I just don't automatically believe everyone. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that Donald Marshall is, I wouldn't say insane, but struggling very badly with mental illness. Like, he needs to be on medication. And, you know, you can be hateful in the comments and say, well, you need to be on medication. I agree. I don't have health insurance. But I do need to be on medication. I used to be on medication. Because some of the shit that he was saying is so fucking outlandish. Like, he was saying that he literally would go to a coliseum, astral project into a coliseum, and, like, he knew jiu-jitsu, and he fought Joe Rogan. That's one of his claims. It's so fucking insane. One of them, like, he wrote every song in history, apparently, which is hilarious. Like, every song, he wrote every song in history, like, from Britney Spears, NSYNC. They used to, like, keep him in a room. By the way, none of his shit makes sense. Like, I've tried to wrap my head around it. From what I've gathered, basically, he's a clone. There's elite cloning facilities, which I do believe that. And I do believe that the CIA or the government, somebody is trying to, like, do studies of, like, separating the soul, maybe transferring the soul into something else. Like, I could see that consciousness, you know. The elites, they want to be fucking AI robots and live forever. Like, and there has been experiments with death and souls and stuff. As far as, like, do we live after we die? How long do we live? Like, how long is the brain conscious? Like, there was a movie where they had people purposely die and come back, and I think they actually did that experiment from the fucking movie. Whether it's predictive programming or revelation of the method, I think it was Canada. I don't know why that's the first country that comes to mind, but I think they actually performed that experiment of, like, killing volunteers and bringing them back to, and then interviewing them, like, what did you see on the other side, you know? Weird shit. So that doesn't sound too insane, but the claims of, like, fighting Joe Rogan in a jiu-jitsu match in a coliseum is redonkulous, in my opinion. And I do believe in astral travel. But I only believe myself for the most part. Everyone else I take with a grain of salt. Him writing every single song is ridiculous. He said at one point that he was on the cover of a CD, which that one was fucking weird. That conspiracy, I don't remember which band it was, but I looked it up and I'm like, holy shit, that looks exactly like Donald Marshall. Like, That one was weird. I have to admit that. There was something to that one. Unless he just came across that CD and was like, holy shit, this dude looks just like me, you know? Oh, by the way, I have an awesome doppelganger story. If I don't share it on this one, I'll share it on another one. It's my first experience with a doppelganger. And it wasn't mine, it was someone else's. It's so fucking weird. But, yeah, I don't believe Donald Marshall. I seriously, in my heart of hearts, I believe he's mentally ill. I believe there's some truth to what he's saying, but I think, and I believe compulsive lying is a side effect of, it can be a mental illness within itself, and I believe he definitely suffers from ideas of grandeur, I believe is what they call it. When you make yourself out to be like this like epic hero or like some epic, you make yourself out to be like super 10 times more epic than you actually are. Which is why I think he's like, I wrote every song in history. I beat Joe Rogan in a jiu-jitsu match because I'm CIA trained and know every martial art. And let's see all the Donald Marshall fucking fanboys and fangirls fucking come out and try to kill me in the comment section. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with this one. But the reason I brought up Donald Marshall is because he does connect with the Black Eyed Club. He believes basically kind of like the movie The Matrix. Do you guys remember the little shrimp thing? And that's the only way I can describe it because it looks like a robot shrimp that gets put into Neo's belly and they have to put the machine on it, suck it out. And he believes there's these creatures called vril, I think is what he calls them. Which, by the way, that name, I believe, is an actual group that was like created by the Nazis, the Vril Society, which is like, it was a group, because the Nazis were into like ufology and occult and shit. Like, that's why I'm so fucking interested in World War II and honestly the Nazis, because they were into so much fucking weird shit. When you're reading about it or learning about it, you're like, this sounds like a fucking movie, dude. How people do not talk about like the craziness of World War II more often is baffling to me. It's like, how are you guys not talking about this? Like, Hitler was building flying saucers looking for the Holy Grail, trying to find Atlantis, like trying to find the Spear of Destiny, like all of this Indiana Jones shit he was doing, and like no one talks about it on the History Channel, or historians don't talk about it. Like, it's like, is this not interesting to you? Like, him and Heinrich Himmler were both occultists, and like, you know, I don't know, it's just mind-blowing to me. But the Vril Society, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, this is all off the top of my head, but they were like a group of like women who they believed were like Pleiadians, like pale, tall, blonde, the perfect race, you know, the Aryans. But they believe, and they never were allowed to cut their hair because, in my opinion, I've spoke about this tons of times on the channel, I do believe that the hair is sacred. Me and my mom, actually, she got pissed at me and called me insane because I believed I didn't want my daughter to get her hair cut, and because I believe the hair is sacred, you know. I believe there's something to that. They told Jesus not to cut his hair. Samson lost all his strength when he cut his hair. They've done experiments. Actually, the U.S. military noticed it. They figured out that the Native Americans were the best trackers. So when they drafted people, or if a Native American volunteered for the military, they would use them as trackers because it was just in their blood. They were amazing trackers. And to fit the uniform, they made them all cut their hair. And when they made them all cut their hair, they lost their ability to track. It was insane. I swear to God, this shit right here is antennas to God or Earth or something. our hair is antennas to something, you know. But the vril was legit shit. So I don't know if he just read about the vril, because I don't remember his whole conspiracy behind it. I just remember this specific part that connects with the Black Eyed Club. But the vril basically was like, yeah, like an occult group who was trying to contact aliens, and they had contact with aliens like through seances or something. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on them. Like, dude, you guys, I love this channel because like every time I get into one topic, it connects with another. Conspiracy and spirituality and religion, it all fucking, it's one gigantic spider web. And once you figure that out, that everything's connected, it's awesome because it gives me so many episode ideas. But his version of the vril, Donald Marshall, was basically like this little shrimp creature that they would put inside your eyeball, and it would crawl into your brain and control you. Like you become like remote controlled. And I do believe there's something to parasites and demons and stuff. I don't know, I think there's a lot of connection with demons and parasites, because they can literally get into your brain and like control you, make you eat bad, make you drink, make you sexually promiscuous, so that way you spread more parasites to another person. As far as like, not trying to be gross, but sexual acts like analingus and shit, toxoplasmosis, you know. I do definitely believe in all like this parasite shit. Go check out an episode I did on RFK and his brainworm he had. It's fucking crazy, man. Why he admitted that on the campaign trail, I do not fucking know. That was so stupid of him. God, I wish he would have won. But he's still got a position in the cabinet. Punch buggy, no punch back. Sorry, I told you guys we were going to start playing this shit. So those are the two theories that I've heard about the Black Eyed Club. And in the third and last theory was so number one theory was it's a form of punishment. Number two is it's real, which is outlandish to me. I need some evidence on this shit. And number three would be like, basically kind of like getting jumped into a gang. Like, you have to get punched in the eye or bludgeoned in the eye to the point where it bursts the vessels and blackens your eye, and it's kind of like a mark of like, now you're one of us, you're in the gang, and it lets everyone else know, oh, he's one of us. And it's specifically what I've heard from other channels in my studies, is that it is like a representation of Horus, the god Horus, the sun god, who Jesus was based off of. Unless you believe in like the whole ascended master theory, which got propositioned by Helena Blavatsky. I kind of believe that there could be ascended masters. I mean, honestly, with my spiritual journey, I would love to be an ascended master. That's what I strive for. To be able to just rapture myself up and transfigure and perform miracles and shit and find nirvana. And I do believe that there are specific figures like Muhammad, Jesus, Thoth Trismegistus, Buddha, Siddhartha Buddha. Like, I do believe in the whole ascended master shit. I don't think in this lifetime I will be able to reach ascended master. Maybe next lifetime. But Horus, that it's kind of like an Illuminati type ritual, because you know the Illuminati's obsessed with eyes, you know. But it's like the representation of Horus losing his eye, which Horus actually ties in with Odin too, as far as and this would make sense because Horus, Jesus, Odin, they're all the same entity, they're all the same god. Odin was nailed to a tree. And if you actually read the Bible, in certain books, not all of them, some books say cross, some of them actually say that he was nailed to a tree. And the spear of destiny would be Freya's spear. They talk about it. Odin was stabbed with Freya's spear. It's all, dude, Christianity is all old pagan shit, man. Like, I'm sorry, it just is, but that's why I'm not a Christian. And if I do claim to be a Christian, I would be like the actual real Christianity. I think I understand Christianity more than most Christians. They don't even know what they're worshiping. They're worshiping the literal sun, dude. I mean, it's cool. The sun's not evil. It's not bad. It's okay. You know, don't block it out like Bill Gates, please. I could see Christians doing that. The sun is evil. The world is evil. Let's block it out. You know, I mean, they did burn people at stakes and shit, so. But, yeah, it's supposed to be like a ritual mimicking Horus losing his eye. And I think Set, like, gouged his eye out and stole it or something. I can't remember the story. Maybe we'll do a deep dive on it. I keep saying that. We need to... dude, I've got 1 billion episodes in my pocket, dude. And only one lifetime to live. And sadly, I can't make this my full-time job, so... you guys get what you get. But, I mean, it's always something to look forward to. Stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe, you know. There's always more to stay tuned for. There's always shit. I never run out of shit. But this episode's almost wrapped up. That's pretty much... I'll probably title this episode Pope's Black Eye or Black Eyed Club. I've never actually done a deep dive episode on the Black Eyed Club. And that's the 3 theories that I know about. If you've heard something different, definitely hit me up in the comments, because I'm always wanting to expand my knowledge and stuff on subjects and conspiracies, and let me know if I got anything wrong. If you're a huge fan of Donald Marshall, I'm sorry, but that's my opinions on Donnie Darko. You know, that's Donnie Darko was mentally ill too. Sorry. That's my opinions on Donnie Darko, you know. It is what it is. Like, hate me, love me, whatever. But actually do get mad, because then it'll push me up the algorithm. And make sure to thumbs down too, because the algorithm can't tell the difference between thumbs up and thumbs down. So when you actually thumbs down a video a shit ton of times, it keeps pushing it up the algorithm. But please like, share, and subscribe. Because I'm trying to get up to 500 subs for YouTube. So I can get monetized and actually make some merchandise and shit. I want to make some trading cards and shit for the channel, like conspiracy trading cards. That's one of my ideas. And I appreciate everyone who's stayed tuned after my last episode of I'm a Shill. Go check that episode out. I confess to being a shill. And I actually lost, knock on wood, 0 subscribers from that. So, like, it shows me that my audience and fan base, well, I wouldn't say fan base. I don't like that word fans, but my listeners, my audience, actually has fucking brains. And they're not as toxic as, like, a lot of other content creators, audiences. Truth seeker. Sorry, shots fired. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You see a lot of toxicity in this community, man, of like certain believers of certain channels and subscribers of certain channels are toxic as fuck. You know? But I guess we'll wrap the episode up there. I hope you enjoyed this episode on the Black Eyed Club. This honestly needed to be done for a long time. It's pretty much like a conspiracy classic, but Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to get ready for work, and I love you all. God bless. Keep praying for me. I'm still going through some shit over here. So, love y'all. Bye.